Hi, my name is Teresa Kovlak, and today we are going to be making some of these circles using alcohol ink. These ones that you see here are done on a 5x7 piece of Yupo. And I have everything prepped. I kind of just want to show you real quickly what we're going to be using. We'll be using the Posco markers. If you don't have any of these, they're great. I recommend picking some up. If you can't splurge for the Poscos at this time, they do make an off-brand. It's an acrylic paint marker. You can pick it up at Michael's or Joann's. I'm also using the 99% alcohol, and I put mine in one of the little recyclable bottles. And I also have some inks that are mixed. This has alcohol and alcohol and the color in it. And these are nice because they have the little squeeze top. So I might be using these. They're prepped in case I want them. And then I prep my inks by putting them in a little container, and I wanted to show you this. So I'm using actually one of my, these are little salt containers that I keep my Pinata ink separate. So there is Pinata ink in here, but being that we're going to use it right away, it's not going to wake up the whole bottom. And I'm just giving a little squeeze of ink in there. So I'll put a list of the colors of the inks that I use. These ones here are going to be set aside. If you'd like to look on YouTube, I also have a large circle that I did some time ago, maybe 2 months ago. You can look back at my videos, and it's under bubbles, making alcohol ink bubbles. So if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that. The other thing you're going to want is an assortment of large and small, especially if you want the smaller circles, of different glasses. And I do find if you get a chipped one, you're going to want to recycle that because it just doesn't work as well. Yeah, you can use it, but you might as well recycle it. You can pick these up really cheaply at the thrift store. The shot glasses work nice, even if you're not a drinker. The shot glasses work nice because it has a heavy bottom on it. That's the nice thing about this glass. It's heavy. It puts some weight onto your paper when you're pressing down. I also was able to pick up some of these glasses. So it has a heavy bottom on it. You can see this much part of the glass is solid glass. So it's nice and heavy when it's sitting down on your paper. This is really a benefit. And that's why picking up any kind of little glasses that you can find with the heavier bottom is great. So you want a few glasses and a large bowl. And you can also use a stainless steel bowl. That will work great too. So we're going to go ahead and get started, but I would like to send a shout out to Victoria. She sent me this little, it's actually a blow dryer, and it has attachments to go to the other end. This is super awesome, Victoria. I got to use it over the weekend. I want you to know I really appreciate it. It was something that I had been wanting to get for some time, hadn't picked it up, and received it in the mail, and what a nice gift. So thank you, Victoria, for this. If you have one of these, this works great. You can get it on Amazon. What's nice about that is it doesn't put too much heat onto your paper. I also do have a couple of heat guns. This heat gun has been with me for quite some time. You can see it's been well worn. This gets a little bit hotter and blows a little bit harder, but it is very useful, especially when I'm doing the ceramic pieces. This heat gun I picked up a couple of months ago at Michael's. Use my 40% or 50% coupon. You can get one of these at Michael's. This is nice if you don't have a heat gun. But I do highly recommend this little blow dryer because it works wonders. It doesn't blow too much heat. Definitely recommend this. And thank you again, Victoria. So let's get started on this. Sorry I'm long-winded today. Trying not to be. I always try to make those short and fast and easy videos for you. Today I'm just a little long-winded, so bear with me. We're going to get started on this. So I'm going to move all my different colors onto the side. And those little splotches, the little splotches here are not going to hurt a thing. We're not going to worry about those. And what we're going to do is just splash some of our ink around. So this is mixed with the alcohol. And give it a splash however you would like. And I'm just kind of pouring it on wherever, just to give it a little color. And set all my dishes aside. I'm not going to worry about the ink in those right now. What we're going to do on this is we're going to move this alcohol around a little so we can get our circles going. I'm going to use a little bit of the 99% alcohol. I am in a well-ventilated area on this one. I usually do work in a well-ventilated, but definitely on this one because you are using so much alcohol. And I'm just going to give it a little tip. Nothing major. Just to move it. And I should have grabbed out some rubber gloves. I didn't. Just because I don't want ink totally all over. But it's a good idea to have these in case you want to move some of your ink around. And I like having the white spots, so it's up to you. If you want to cover the whole page, you can cover the whole page. And this is a little dark spot here. I'm not really going to worry about it. So we're going to go ahead and just slightly dry some of this down. I am going to use my new little blower. If you don't have one of these, just keep your heat gun up a little. So I'm just going to dry this just a tiny bit. I don't want it dry because I have to put my cups down my glass bowls. So I just barely dried it. I more or less moved that ink around a little bit. Now I want to put my bowls down. And we're going to go with a nice big one. Right about there. What I try to do is look what's going to be underneath it. That's what's nice about using the clear bowls instead of the stainless steel bowls. And that moved it a little bit. We're not going to worry about that. And now I'm just going to kind of pick a little assortment. So say I want more color right here. Say that I don't like that and I want to add a little more color. But actually what I'm going to do is add some gold. So I'm just going to give kind of a squeeze. And now I'm going to put my bowl on. And it's okay that they move around a little bit. And another size, I want something a little bit smaller. And it's up to you. If you want to use all small, little ones, you can do that. And looking for a good size, but not too big. Remember, I said it's great to have different sizes. It just gives you more options to grab. And I think I'll throw a couple up this way. And I think that's pretty good. So on the side I have all different assortments of glasses. Now, we don't have to rush now. We can let this dry. But I'm not just going to let it dry, I'm going to help it dry. So we're going to go ahead and blow it down. And I'm not going to talk while I'm blowing, so I'll see you in a second. Okay, you could see a couple of my cups were wanting to move a tiny bit. No worries, just bring it back over. You can see the circle outlines are already starting. We're going to go ahead and blow a little bit more. One of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to take your alcohol and put it on a paper towel and wipe your rim. You don't want to do that, because if you take this now and try it, well, I mean, maybe go ahead and try it. Maybe you'll like the results. But what it does is it makes it scatter. And I don't want it to go far away. I want to keep that circle look. Now I'm going to use my heat gun. I'm going to blow this down a little bit more. My blow dryer helped me just kind of start to dry it. Gives it a nice look and doesn't blow it too far. Now I really want to dry it. I'm not going to put it too close, and we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so this out here is good and dry, but what is not dry is under the cups. And I don't want to lift them all off at once, because if I do that, they're just going to kind of scatter as they go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my powerful heat gun, this one here that's been with me for a long time. I'm going to take that and I'm going to blow it as I lift off the cup. Now, as you could see, this one was still quite wet, more so than this one. So what I'm going to do is give it one more quick blow through here. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll peak my cup up. So I'll just tip it up a tiny bit and blow in that hot air to help dry it down. So what I could have done in the beginning is dry it a little bit more, but you don't want to dry it too much, because if you dry it too much, then when you put your cups down, it's not going to give you the correct effect. So we'll go ahead and get the rest of these dried down. Okay, so on this one you can see the cup slid, so I don't panic. I got my original circle underneath, and now I'm going to have a top circle on top of it. No big deal. Okay, so, you know, I didn't fast forward this because I want you to actually see how long it takes to do this. And you can see exactly what I'm doing. So this one we haven't done yet. It is still quite wet underneath, and that's fine. We're going to deal with that in a second. But I wanted you to see I'm shifting my air gun different ways, my heat gun. I'm turning it different ways, and that way I'm keeping that ink where I want it. So if it starts to go too much one way, it's just like doing those wispies. Too much one way, bring it back the other way. So you don't have to be a expert or even good at doing wispies to do this. You just have to be able to pour your ink down and put your bowls on top, dry them as you pick them up. So our last one, let's go ahead and get that done. Now I see I got a couple of particles in here, and I'm going to just take and get those out real quick because I don't want it to totally dry like that. So I could have had something in my bowl, something in the cup when I poured it on. So if you have any particles at all, try to take them out when it's still wet. So we'll just go ahead and dry that down the rest of the way. Now, so say we want more dots and circles on it. So what we can do is we can take our paintbrush, and I have a couple of ones that I rely on. I picked these up at Michael's, and they're for the acrylic paints, but they work awesome on the inks. So these are two of my reliable ones that I love. So just one moment here. Just going to shuffle things and bring my chair over. All right. So I have my alcohol here, and it's in a little dish. It's the 99% alcohol. And I want to just put a paper towel underneath it. So now if I want to start doing some dot work, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can take and put some alcohol on your paintbrush and just go in and start dotting. And I really recommend doing this in the same day because your ink is fresh on your paper. Your dots will move better. So my last one that I had done, my last big one, I worked on it for probably, I don't know, it was several hours. Like I worked till 4 o'clock in the morning. And I had started in the afternoon on it. So you can put a lot of hours into doing a painting like this. So I'm just giving you a heads up. Now, I can let this set and do it tomorrow, but it really paints better when you do it in the same day. So that's one way of doing your dots. The other thing you can do is, remember I had told you I had some ink mixed up on the side? So you can take these, it has a little dripper, otherwise you can buy just the little eye dripper, and you only need one or two if you just buy an eye dripper. If you buy the glass one, you can just dip it in your alcohol, squeeze in your alcohol, give it a dip out, and that will allow you to reuse it over and over. And so I can take and put down different colors like that to give me circles. I can take a bigger brush and lay down more ink. And give me circles that way. And it just depends on how big or how small you want them. You can do circles inside of circles. And it's just up to the imagination of which direction and how far you want to go. So another thing you can do is take these awesome pens. These are the acrylic pens that I was telling you about earlier. And you can go through with these. And this is an acrylic paint. And you can just go crazy with these. They are awesome. And like I said, if these don't fit your pocketbook right now, pick up the off-brand. You can get the acrylic paints through Michael's, use your half-off coupon, and start dotting away. Now I use these for different work too, so these really come in handy. You also can take and do your dots first with the alcohol like I did there. Then you can go back over them with your paint marker. And you can do as much as you want or as little as you want. If you like it like this, you can leave it like this. Leave it like this. So again, I'm going to leave it here and let you use your imagination on how you would like to do your painting. And if you would like to see more of my work, you're welcome to follow me on Instagram or Facebook under my name, Teresa Kovlak. And you can leave any questions or comments below, and I will get to them. I certainly hope this video helps you with some dots. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll enjoy it. And happy painting to you. Again, thanks so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day.